Guys, what's up? Happy Wednesday. What's up? What's up? Welcome in.
Hey,
Wow.
how's
Immediate
it going?
connection. There we go. What's up?
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for hopping on this fine Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, looks nice down there.
Yeah, it's great.
Lehigh.
What's up?
Where do you live? Lehigh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's finally feeling like fall. The weather's
Hmm.
perfect.
Yeah,
Finally
it's
feels good.
nice. Kind of
Hmm.
chilly in the mornings.
Yes.
And then,
It's
yeah.
It's football weather, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
football weather.
Yeah. We're big
Well,
football fans. My two of my brothers live in Lehigh.
oh really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So, right there.
So,
What's your team? Are you college or NFL?
um, we're NFL. Um, I'm a Broncos fan.
Okay.
Um, it's kind of sad, but I've always been a Broncos fan. But my husband, he loves, he absolutely loves the Ravens, and he just, I don't know, he loves the
That's
Ravens.
awesome.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, but this time of year, it's like that's all. I feel like that's all he cares about is football.
That's pretty much all I care about right
Yeah,
now. So,
yeah. He always looks forward to it. He's like, "Oh, football's starting." He's on a fishing trip right now and they don't have service or anything, and he's up we have a cabin up Grays River in Wyoming.
uh-huh.
He's up there with his brothers and I know he's probably dying to know what's going on.
I
So,
bet. I know it's hard when you go on these fishing hunting trips. It's like it's tough
yeah.
because you don't have service. So I
Yeah.
can relate to that. I can relate to that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. I'll hop right into it. I don't
Yeah.
want to take too much of your time or any of our
Yeah.
followers who are watching here. Also, I have like the worst allergies known to mankind,
So
and
do
like
I.
okay, so for the
Yeah.
last 3 days, I kid you not, if I don't have glasses on, I can only keep my eyes open for like 10 seconds at a time. My eyes are just like so itchy, and I don't know
Okay.
what the deal is. So that's why I've got my glasses on.
All right.
But yeah, thanks for joining. Again, we've got a handful of people here on the live. This everyone is Mckenzie. She is a member here at Uncommon Education Trading.
Yes.
She is one of many of our female traders here at UET. I always talk about how I believe female traders have a better disposition just naturally as day traders. And we have a lot of female traders who have a lot of success. So I guess to start, for everyone listening, why don't you just share very briefly
Mm-hmm.
your background as far as, what got you interested in trading, how you heard about Uncommon, and your experience kind of going through the mastermind program.
Okay. Well, to make it quick, I traded futures in 2003, so over 20 years ago for a very
Awesome.
short time. It wasn't nearly the same experience. My dad had a friend who was a retired MLB player who was a day trader and who's really successful at trading futures. And he said, "Hey, if I pay you, will you teach my daughter to do this?" And
Mm-hmm.
which was a horrible idea at the time. It wasn't my idea. It was just a bad situation and I was trading way too much money for what I was for my skill for my anyway, long story short, I bombed, I lost a lot of money and I was traumatized. So I basically was like day trading is like not for me. Well then 20 years later or however long that was ago, I was in a good situation in my life. My husband and I have, we've started three very successful businesses. I was kind of in a position where I had a lot of time on my hands. My kids are grown and out of the house. I'm an empty nester and I wanted to do something. I was feeling kind of depressed because I had really nothing going on much. And I thought I'm going to do something. And day trading just kind of kept popping in my head. It was so weird because I don't know why.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it was just meant to be. And so I told my husband, he's like, do it. You should totally do it. He's like, you would be so good at it. Just do it. And so he's the one that found you. So
Good.
it was so weird. It was like one of those weird algorithm things where it like started like showing up on his Instagram feed. And
Yeah.
then he saw that you were in Utah where I am. And he was like, dang, like you should look into this. And so it just kind of fell into my hands a little. Like I just was like this, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. And so told my son about it. He also joined the mastermind. He's in college. And then, honestly, it's been a wild ride. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna lie. Okay, I started doing this and I had a totally different idea of what it was gonna be. I really
Totally.
did. Um, it was like I thought it was gonna be kind of like this high energy, like fast paced, like, oh, this is exciting. I'm making all these trades and it's like I pictured like the Wolf on Wall Street or something, like in my house. I don't know. It was like so
Yeah.
weird. And when I got into it, I started to realize like it's such a like different thing, but in such a much better way. So my experience has been so good. It's I've had so many lessons learned in the last 6 months since I've been trading. I've been extremely what's the word? I've been baptized by fire. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I feel like I finally have figured out the system of how to be successful at this. And it's not what I thought it would be. It's not about money. It's not about money. It's about being able to stick to a plan, following rules, and saying, I'm wrong, get out. Literally, if you can do that, you can make money. It's crazy. It's just so different than what I thought it was.
I love it. So there's a lot
Hmm.
there that I want to unpack and a few points I want to, point out. And for everyone listening here, we are going to have a short Q&A at the end of this, so stay tuned. We're also going to be giving away a free month of live trading with us here at UET. So hang tight. We're going to have a Q&A where you can ask Mckenzie and myself whatever questions you may have. So obviously you had a little exposure to the stock market a while ago, had a bad experience. That is so relatable to so many people. I can't tell you
Hmm.
how many people reach out to me and they're like, yeah, I tried it once. I had a friend who tried
Yes.
it. I had a parent who tried it. And
Hmm.
again, I always compare it, and I think I said this on our last Instagram live. It'd be like someone who's never learned how to play the piano, doesn't know how to read music, walking up to a piano and just
Yeah.
banging keys and expecting it to sound good. It's like it's not going to happen, right? Like you have to
Right.
know what
Yeah.
chords to play. You have to have sheet music. And so trading's the same way. It's like, yeah, when people are like, yeah, I really struggle. It's like, okay, well, what was the strategy you were playing? What was the system, right? How, what was your reward to risk that you were targeting? What was your
Yes.
risk management? How much of your account were you risking per trade, right? They just don't have the understanding. So it's cool to hear from you how you went from, trading with too much money, kind of sounds like maybe not fully grasping the concepts to
Yeah.
now where over the last 6 months, you're starting to grasp some of those concepts and starting to see some of those things work out.
Hmm.
I also wanted to point out and talk about, so in regards to you had learned trading, previously through someone, and then you took the mastermind program. What were one or two things from the mastermind program that you felt were different or that really helped you kind of establish a little more consistency as a trader that maybe you weren't expecting or
Yeah.
that you hadn't received previously from, other education?
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing that I have to say is Jeremy, the way he teaches is absolutely like I don't want to say foolproof because it's not. And he's not paying me to do this. I will tell you guys. I am not getting anything out of this. This is strictly me being like, so when I learned before, I wasn't taught any of the psychology of trading. I was not taught how to position size properly. I was not taught, honestly, very much about risk to reward ratios or risk management or probabilities. I was
Mm-hmm.
just taught market structure and like support and resistance, very, very basic stuff
Yeah.
and I was taught more like long-term day trades, like where you hold on to trades for hours and
Yeah.
it's absolutely like horrendous. I can't do that again. Jeremy's so much better at like I love scalping because honestly, it's just first of all, it's a lot more fun.
Yep.
It's a lot more fun, but it's also just mentally it's way more bearable. I can tell you like it's just it's so good. Like I feel like you've given us like a foundation. This is how I compare it. I'm like, you've given us a foundation and a blueprint. Like if you do this, you will build success, and then it's up to us to build the house brick by
Yep.
brick. Like, and it's very very doable. And it's so funny too because it's like those. I feel like trading, there's like clean pain in trading and there's dirty pain in trading. And
Yeah, that's good.
clean pain is when you lose a trade, but you had followed your rules and you stuck to your strategy, you stayed with your stop loss, like the trades we did today. Like
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, those trades I would take every single time because
Yep, me
everything was.
too.
And so when you lose those trades, it's like clean pain because it takes you closer to the kind of trader you want to be. It's like you're still when you lose a trade because you broke your rules, you held past your stop, you're being greedy, impulsive, you had FOMO. That is the dirtiest pain, and it's like it's so dirty. You just feel like gross. Like you're like I'm such a horrible person. I'm such an idiot.
Such a good
Yes.
comparison. I
And
love
it
that
takes you and
comparison.
it takes you further from the trader you want to be. It takes you like, and I compare my trading journey to a trend line. It literally is. It's like it kind of goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up and then it goes down and then it goes down a little more and then it's kind of like it looks like a trend line.
Yeah,
And it honestly is like up to you whether or not you want that trend line to be moving up or down consistently. And a lot of it is just your own decision making. It's like you can't blame the market, you can't blame Jeremy, you can't blame UET, you can't blame the strategies because when you follow them, you make money. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It's pretty awesome. It really
Well,
is.
I love that, and I think that you're right. And I remember when I started Uncommon Education, I remember thinking to myself, I don't know of a community, a group, a mentor, whoever out there who talks about some of those things that really make up the difference, right? Like how many trades should I be taking each day? How much of
Mhm.
my account should I be risking per trade? When should I increase position size? How frequently should I be pulling profits? And what's crazy is people don't understand. Yeah, you can understand support resistance, trends, you can even have a profitable strategy. But if you don't have that blueprint, that framework, it's really hard to have long term consistent success. So, obviously, where you're at now, very cool to see that progression. I know you started with a small trading account, around 2,000, brought up to around 10,000. And again, that trend line of kind of going back, forth, up and down. Where you're at now and where you feel like, yeah, you grasp the concept of what it takes to be profitable, which is not focusing on the money, but more
Right.
so focusing on the strategy and on the
Yes.
implementation of kind of trading your game plan or executing your game plan. What would you say the biggest difference, the biggest change, the aha moment? What was attribute one thing to the success that you've been having that
Yeah.
maybe you didn't have before when you tried trading 20 years ago. What's one thing you're doing now that you weren't doing then that you feel like is helping with your success at this point?
Yeah. So before I was kind of reacting to the market. I was just going in and I didn't have my trades planned out ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that is a huge no-no. I feel like my best trading days are the ones where I have like I go to the potential plays or the watch
Mm-hmm.
list, or sometimes I have my own plays that
Yeah,
I've gotten to the point now where I can actually find my own plays, which is kind of fun.
it's
And
awesome.
what I do is I say if A, B, and C happen, then I will enter. It's like you have a plan. You're not just kind of making decisions in the moment. And I mean, every so often you do that, but you just have a lot more success when you have a plan and you know which stock you're going to play, what strategy you're going to use, where your entry and your exit are, and what position size you're using. And one thing that I'll say, like when I first started trading, I was so excited to like build up my trading account. For
Right.
some reason, it's like a weird thing. You're like, I'm only trading with $1,800. God, like that's not very exciting. Like I'm
Sure.
I'm only like I'm trading $180 at a time. What, so I might win $30? Like it just feels kind of like anticlimactic, but what you don't understand is you're building a foundation. And so what I did is I built my trading account up, which was actually a mistake. If I could
Right.
go back, I wouldn't have done that. I would have taken profits. So what I was doing was thinking, okay, if I can build my trading account up to $12,000, then I can start trading $1,200 at a time. Well, what that did was that I ended up over position sizing too soon and I ended up actually over trading. So one of the biggest light bulb moments for me with you was when you said, I only keep the amount I'm trading that day in my account at a
Mm-hmm.
time. So like pulling profits consistently. So right now I have $2,500 in my trading account, and usually I trade $600 to $1,200 per trade,
Perfect.
depending on what the market's doing, how confident it's like there's just variables that I have to use. Like I try to be smart, and also based on my emotions. Like if I go into a trading day and I'm not feeling super solid emotionally, I know I'm position sizing small. One thing I saw that really the volume knob on your emotions is the position size.
I love that. That's so
100%.
good.
So true. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I over position size, it's like there's something it's not right. Like I don't do well. And so I love that
Well,
you're super transparent about that in your trades. You're like, "Hey, I have a small position size right now, people, because I'm doing the mastermind. I've got a lot going
yeah.
on." It's such a good example of just being a smart like trader. There's been days where I don't trade at all
Mm-hmm.
because I was up late the night before. I don't feel right. Something's not right. Like, and you have to be able to say, I'm not going to trade. If you can't do that, then you're setting yourself up for just gambling.
And what's so cool, you guys, everyone who's listening, this is the mindset of a professional day trader that she's sharing with you right now, right? She took our mastermind program, right? Yes, we have profitable strategies. Yes, we have all these things to help resource wise. But the reason, and I could just tell you right now that she is finding so much success is literally because she has the correct mindset, right, towards trading. And it's one of those things that no other group really talks about, right? Talking about the variables of how you feel, right? Position sizing based on market conditions or based on, where you're at emotionally, right? It's such a veteran, like, again, mindset in this skill set. And that's what's cool is at Uncommon, I try to teach all of our members exactly these things, right? I took
Yep.
4 years and a lot of money lost to get to the realizations or the points that you're talking about now. And our goal is to help our members get there in a matter of weeks or months, right?
It's
Again, she's
insane. You like that's the biggest thing I can say about the mastermind is you learn the trading mindset. The mindset of a trader is 80% of your success.
mhm,
It's not about picking the right trade or, figuring out the strategies. It's just so I didn't realize that until I did the mastermind.
right.
And you kind of have to learn it by doing it. One thing that I love that Jeremy taught, he doesn't really like paper trading. And before when I was taught, I was told paper trade. And the thing is, you're just lying to yourself. You're
Yep.
not really creating good habits. And so that's why I love how he teaches to start with a very small position size. You don't need a lot of money to start trading. You really don't. There's people that start with $500 trading accounts where they're
Hmm.
trading very small contracts, and it's totally doable. I mean, honestly, you my son, he's a college kid. He doesn't have as much money as I do. He's slowly seeing progress. He might make $30 in a trade, but to him, that's a big deal. It's like because over time that
That's three
compounds.
hours. That's 3 hours at a campus job, right?
Exactly.
Like
He
that's
does it
fantastic.
before 7:50 in the morning usually. That's the craziest part. And I can honestly say most days I'm totally done day trading by most of my trades are done in that first hour of market open.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'll come back, but usually, and I have very strict rules for myself now. So
Hmm.
if I have two winners, then I will allow myself a third trade. If
Hmm.
I keep holding my stop, if I have two losers, I'm done for the day.
Yep.
If I have one loser and one winner, then I usually will do a third trade. It's just
Well,
I never ever 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 make more than three trades ever.
hmm.
It's just absolute havoc if I do. I've
And
learned
one
that.
thing I want to point out as well, and again, everyone here, we're just about to the point for the Q&A. And again, you'll be able to ask Mckenzie whatever questions you have along with myself. So if you have questions, kind of queue those up. Don't start sending them yet. I'll let you know. But one thing that Mckenzie's showing you guys is that she is extremely disciplined, right? She's disciplined with the amount of money in her account. She's disciplined in how she takes profits. She's disciplined in how she takes trades, right? She even knows if she has two losers, what to do. If she has two winners, what to do. Never exceeding the amount of trades. And every time we do these Instagram lives, what I always love is to see, okay, what's the constant? What's the consistent variable between all these people who are finding consistent success as day traders? And the answers are always the same, is that there's a lot of discipline, right? A lot of discipline involved. There's an understanding that the plan is more important than the money involved.
Mhm.
I tell everyone, and even while I'm live trading, I tell people, look, I'm not some master of entries. I'm not some, you know, crystal ball holder who just, catches the very top of the move, the very bottom of the move. What I do really well is I manage trades and I exit for my stop loss when I'm supposed to, and then when I'm in a
Mhm.
good trade, I'll let it ride. And I think
Mhm.
that what's hard for people when they start trading is they think that it's this, kind of equation that they can just remove their brain and follow the equation and it's just going to magically print money. Where at the end of the day, you have to be willing to sit there, whether for 15 minutes, an hour, sometimes 2 hours, and wait for your, just as you described, kind of checkbox system, right? If this,
Mhm.
this, and this occur, and if it doesn't happen, you don't trade, you don't
Nope.
enter, you sit and you wait. But then if it does happen, you have to be willing and confident enough to then execute. And that's where that discipline and patience comes into play, which again, I want to, point out to you, kudos to you, as you've been able to do that, which is really, really cool. Last question I have for you, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A from those. It's about 50 people so here that I'm sure, have some questions for you. But at
Sure.
this point, for anyone who, is either currently trading and not yet finding success, people who are, maybe on the fence of, wanting to, dive into to learn the skill set of trading, as far as like non-trading, right? And I always like to ask this question, how has trading and becoming more disciplined with the rules and figuring out, how to find success in this, how has it helped you in your day-to-day life, right, as a mother, as a spouse, just as a human being? Like what has it done for you in your personal life that maybe you didn't expect to happen from learning this skill set, that you can say, hey, I think this has changed for the better, or I feel like I've been able to accomplish this because of learning how to day trade?
That's so funny you brought that up because I was just telling my friend that because of the discipline that I have to have when I'm trading, or I'm not successful at it. I mean, I'm just not.
Mm-hmm.
I've become way more disciplined in other areas of my life. Like, I can say no to myself. Like, if I want to buy this or buy that, or like if I want to eat that or eat this,
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten really good at saying no and delaying gratification. Because literally,
Amazing.
when you're day trading, 80% of it is waiting. You're just sitting
Yep.
there waiting. You're just
Yep.
waiting. Like, you're just sitting there waiting. And a lot of bad trades are made out of boredom, or you think that your patience is being passive. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm being patient, but it's I'm missing out. I'm falling behind. I need to get in a trade, or I'm falling behind. And that's like the worst thing. So it's taught me patience in other areas of my life. It's like I've become so much more like calm. It's so
Yeah.
weird. It's like I've become so much more, I don't need the little dopamine hits that I used to need.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It's like, and I think I've earned a little respect from my kids, hopefully, because they see me doing this and they're like, damn, my mom's like a day trader, like, and she's actually making
Sick.
some money. And so it's like, I mean, I don't know. I hope they think that. I, I've built confidence because I'm doing something really hard that not a lot of people can do, but
Yeah.
it's like I feel like it's just one of those things where I'm just a normal person. There's nothing special about me, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like,
I love what you said so much, and I just want to point out what I love, and this is again one of those consistent things for anyone who we have on this Instagram live, is that your confidence in like just day-to-day life, your ability to
mhm,
like, have respect for yourself and your own decisions, your discipline, is such a natural byproduct because you're waking up early in the morning, you're showing discipline, you're kind of stacking these small wins, even if it's like you said, I'm going to use this 100%, those clean pain versus dirty pain. A
yeah,
clean pain loss where you follow your rules,
mhm,
didn't work out, but again, you mitigated risk, you're still in the game, no problem. Like, that's life. And I think that what's so interesting are the parallels between life and day trading, where sometimes you do everything right, and what happens? you still have hardships. You still have things go wrong. Bad things happen to good people. And as a
Hmm.
day trader, when you realize that that's just part of the game and you can't dwell on those, you just want to minimize or mitigate that and then move forward.
Yeah.
Well, what that does in life is it allows you to handle the hardships that come at you, in life that much better.
Yeah.
So your attitude is incredible. The success that you've had is so impressive in such a short amount of time. So we're going to
Thanks.
open it up for a Q&A here. Again, don't want to take too much time away from you or from those who are listening. So let's go ahead and open it up for any questions you have for Mckenzie or myself. Again, Mckenzie, one of our mastermind members, so much success in such a short amount of time, grew a small account, now trades, with a pretty decent position size and is able to find success, on a consistent basis with the strategies we teach here at UET. While maybe a few questions are being typed out right now, another question I have is, as far as strategies go, you said that you very rarely trade for more than an hour a day. What
Mm-hmm.
are some of your favorite strategies, or I guess what system have you been using recently that's helped you find the most success?
My favorite strategy, because I feel like I just can see it really well, are the bounce rejects, like
Cool.
bouncing off key levels. I don't know. I feel like most of my best trades are bounce rejects. I Wilson taught us like deviations, and he taught us
Mm-hmm.
some new stuff that I really love too. That I'll a lot of times I'll play those too, especially on
Mm-hmm.
Spy and QQQ.
Yeah.
I love those. But um RBRs are always good if I think that if I think that we're going to continue, if there's a lot of volume, then I always will jump into a good RBR, rally based rally.
Mm-hmm.
Um I Those are probably my two go-tos. The orb, every now and then, I don't know, I
Mm-hmm.
don't play that one as much. I feel like I have my comfort zone and I stick to it.
So
um
you see the bounce reject really well, which for those who
mhm,
are listening, it's essentially our reversal strategy, identifying when a stock price is going to reverse at a key
mhm,
level. And I agree with you. I believe it's one of the easiest to see because it's based on volume and candlestick confirmation. And those are
mhm.
things that are really easy to see, right? Especially when intersecting with key levels. So
Yeah, they
I
are.
love that, and that's
Yeah,
awesome. That's really
yeah,
cool that
it's just
you're.
my kind of my favorite, it's my favorite strategy, let's say.
Perfect. All right,
Yeah.
let's keep going. We've got a few more questions here. What would you say is your win to loss ratio? So, on this regard, win to loss ratio, are you someone who has a higher win rate and a less R to R, or is it a lower win rate and higher R to R? And for those listening who don't know, as an
Yeah.
example, if you put $100 into a trade and
Hmm.
your average winning trade is $40 and your average losing trade is $20, with a 50% win rate, you are at break even, right?
Yeah.
50% win rate. Obviously, if you have a higher than 50% win rate, you're going to be profitable. But again, that profit factor can change. So again, I believe I know the answer since you're a
Mhm.
scalper, but are you more
Yeah.
higher win rate, lower R to R, or higher R to R, lower win rate?
So I have a lower R to R, higher win
Mm-hmm.
rate. So
Perfect.
my win rate right now is around 60%.
Perfect.
And I usually, if I have a 1 to 2, like R to R, I'll usually go. Sometimes I get lucky and my wins are bigger than that.
Yeah.
But that's a good enough R to R for me to enter a trade.
And for those who are asking, again, 2 to 1 R to R. So again, that means on average, let's say she takes profit at 30% and she is exiting for 15% loss. With a 60% win rate, you are extremely profitable. And what's funny is I didn't even know this about Mckenzie, but that is literally to the T what we teach with our systems at UET. We say you want to have at least the 60% win rate and 2 to 1 R to R. And go figure, that's exactly what she has. Very cool, very
Yeah.
impressive. Way to go. A few more questions here. Let's see. How do you get back in the game after several bad days slash weeks of losses? So what's,
Okay.
your trick, or how are you able to
Yes.
kind of forget the losses and keep moving forward?
Okay. My biggest piece of advice, because I've actually been talking to my son about this because he's kind of had a losing streak and I've had my own losing streaks.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you've got to realize is it's totally normal. Like, don't think that there's something wrong. Like, just tell yourself nothing has gone wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My biggest piece of advice is go back to like the basics. Pick a strategy, pick one strategy, go small on your position size, and plan a trade, one trade. Like, just start very, like, you just got to go back to the basics. Go back to that first day you traded. Like, when you were
Mm-hmm.
so, like, I just think of that first day that I made a trade and it was like so crazy because I was like, oh my gosh, I think there's an RBR forming here. I'm going to
Right.
enter. You know, it's like you have to kind of go back to the toddler trader inside of you that's like, you just do that. That's, or I mean, one thing Jeremy told me once, it's like if you're just having a bad spell, take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a day. Just to kind of reset. Like go, go for a drive, go do something you love, just kind of get out of that negative headspace and do a little meditating, like whatever you got to do to get in that
Yeah.
good headspace.
I love it. And it's funny because I'm on a, last couple of weeks we've had some
Hmm.
winning trades, but I've also had, more losing trades than I normally have. And I talked about it and I think that what you say is so powerful and so important. And I talk about it with sports because I'm such a huge sports fan, right? Again, I think of like Shohei Ohtani, right? For
Yeah.
those who don't know, he's a generational baseball
I just
talent.
saw him playing in LA.
The
Yeah, we were
dude
just
is
again.
it's as good as it gets. If you want to watch elite, high level athleticism in a sport, just pure dominance, he throws 100-mile-an-hour fastballs and is the home run leader in the MLB. It's we'll
Yeah,
never
it's
see anything like
crazy.
it. It's so cool. But what's funny is I think, okay, here's Shohei Ohtani, greatest to ever do it, and he'll go right 12 at bats with
Hmm.
0 hits and like 8 strikeouts, right?
Yep.
And so this is Shohei Ohtani, the greatest of all time. And it's like, okay, so what is he doing? Do you think
Hmm.
he gets, flustered? Do you think he like thinks I need to change my swing?
Or I
I
need
need
to
to re
quit. I need
I
to
need to
quit.
quit. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
give up my $800 million contract. No. He says that's part of it. What do? Swingers keep swinging, right? You keep
Yes.
swinging, you keep pushing. And exactly what Mckenzie said, one of the best things if you're ever in any type of slump, any type of losing streak is go back
Mhm.
to the basics
Yep.
and try to minimize or get rid of any variables
Yep.
that could induce, problems. And so just
Yep.
like as she said, pick one stock, one strategy, one setup, stay disciplined and, position
Small
size
position.
small. Yeah,
Small
position
position
size
size.
small. Exactly. So I think that's great advice for anyone who finds themselves in any type of losing streak like that.
One thing I did when I had a losing streak, I'll just say this really quick. I was over position sizing because I got kind of cocky because I had like
Mm-hmm.
10 winning days in a row. So I
Mm-hmm.
started trading too much. So and then I lost like 3 days in a row and I was like I was feeling sick about it. Like, oh, I'm such like what am I doing? So what I did is I set a rule for myself. I'm gonna position size half position size.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can be profitable for 3 weeks at half of this position size, then I can up my position size 30%. Like, and so you just consecutively, very small over,
Yeah.
like, and then pretty soon you get that confidence back and you're like, okay. And so
I
that's
love it.
just,
That's such good advice. I hope you guys are listening. This is so, so good. Another question, and again, if you guys have any other last minute questions, feel free to type them in now. Someone asked, how many accounts did you blow, if any, before you were profitable? So again, a blown account is you load up money, you wipe it out to zero,
I've
and you have to
never
start
done
over.
that. I've never
I was
done
about to
that.
say, I know the answer
Yeah.
to this,
Honestly, if you
which is
take,
very impressive.
like UET, I feel like you'd have to be pretty stupid to do that if you follow the strategies we're taught. I just feel like there's so many like safety nets in there if you follow the rules that Jeremy teaches us. Like only trading 10% of your account, having a stop loss. Like you really can't do that unless you just completely go off the rails and yeah.
And I want to pause on this, and this is so
Mhm.
funny. So, for if you're listening to this and you are someone who has blown accounts, you're more like me than you are like Mckenzie. And this is what's so cool about what we do at UET. I have blown infinite. I mean, dozens and dozens of trading accounts, right? But again, this is over 4 years. of not knowing what I was doing before I got to the point where I was profitable. But I will say, and I'm going to reiterate exactly what you just said, Mckenzie, it's kind of impossible to blow an account if
Yeah.
you trade our system
Mm.
unless you just completely disregard the systems that we
Yep.
teach. And I will stand by this and I will stand on this hill. We teach one of the best risk management systems in the trading space today,
Yep.
which literally, even if you had a 25% win rate, you're not going to blow your account as long
Mm.
as you are adhering to your stop losses and
Totally.
you aren't just going unhinged. And yes, if you're unhinged, you're treating it like a casino and you're,
Mm-hmm.
basically playing roulette where it's like, all right, it's either going to hit black or I'm going to lose it all. It's like, yeah, you're going to blow a lot of accounts.
Yeah.
But if you use the systems that we teach, if you implement the strategies, not only are you not going to blow your account, but just like Mckenzie's found, you're actually going to find consistent success and long-term profitability, even when you have those spells where you're not, finding as much success. So I appreciate you sharing that, and again, the fact that you have never done that is so impressive, but at the same
I've
time,
never
not
even come
not
close.
surprising.
I've never even come
Exactly.
close to blowing my account.
And that's what I was gonna say.
So
As impressive as it is, it's also not surprising because again, that's what we teach, right? You
mhm.
you are you are picking up where I started after 4 years of
Yeah,
blowing accounts,
he
of
made
doing
all the
bad things.
mistakes for us. You made all the mistakes for us, and so you teach
Exactly.
us what not to do.
I wish I had someone like me when I started.
I wish I had someone like you 20 years ago when I started. I would have saved me a
oh
lot of a
shoot.
heartache.
That's
God.
so funny.
Yeah.
Well, one more question here, and then we'll wrap it up. And I'll have one more, question for you. Someone asked, "What's your favorite drink or snack while trading? Are you someone who's
I
sipping on something? Do you like to just have nothing going on?
so
Like, tell us a little bit about
I
that."
wake up every single morning at 6 a.m. I get in my hot tub with my Rockstar lemonade in my
Yes,
I seriously,
let's go.
I do a 45-minute meditation, which is so like I have to do this, like, or I'm not in the right headspace. I read over my affirmations for day trading. I have like a whole system that I
The
follow.
reason the reason she's successful, guys, she's hot tubbing in the morning. I'm the
Yeah.
biggest advocate for a hot plunge, right? The cold plunge, not the hot plunge. Oh
Yes.
baby. So anyway,
Yes.
sorry to cut you off.
We have a
That's
cold
awesome.
plunge too, but I don't get in that. My husband does. He's
That's
like the
awesome.
weirdo. But yeah, I have like a very religious routine that I follow every morning, and I have a lemonade rockstar with me
Let's
at all
go.
times because it's my favorite drink. So it goes
Hey,
down a little too easy, a little too nice.
that is so good. That is
Mhm.
such a cool morning routine. And again, I talk about this. You need to have a routine. It doesn't mean you got to go run 20 miles. You don't need to
Nope.
go be, David Goggins,
Mm-mm.
shirt off in the snow, doing jumping jacks. Like, no, a routine. And if that
Mhm.
routine is Rockstar Lemonade, hot tub, meditation, again, something that you can repeat on a daily basis. So, so cool.
Yep.
Someone just asked, and I'll answer, what are you guys trading? We trade stock options. We also teach futures here at Uncommon. But again, we're talking about stock options at the moment. So for everyone here, final question for you, Mckenzie. We so appreciate you taking time with us this fine Wednesday afternoon. For anyone who is maybe on the fence of wanting to learn the skill set of trading, has hesitations, doesn't know what to do, where you're at now, if you could give them advice as far as, whether they should do it, whether they should hold off, right? What they're, just what advice would you give to someone who's maybe on the fence, who hasn't taken the dive into learning the skill set of day trading?
I feel like if you're already to this point where you're interested in it, then there's a reason for that. It's like if you're thinking about learning how to day trade the proper way, this is the only way to do it. And honestly, my advice is do it, but do it the right way. So don't go to YouTube. Don't go to all these like hokey like weirdos flashing their Lambos and their, $1 million. Go to someone who's real, who you know you can rely on, and who is going to be completely honest with you. And that's Jeremy and me. I will be totally honest with you. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's definitely a discipline that takes time. But if you're committed to it and you're willing to follow the rules and look yourself in the mirror and know that you're the problem, that the market's not the problem, that it's you, you
Mm-hmm.
will be successful. You will. If you're willing to say, I'm wrong, and I'm not going to hold on to this trade because the market has to do what I want it to do. That's all it is. It's very simple. It's like just exit and enter when you say you're going to, and you'll be fine. But as far as the mastermind, honestly, I can't think of a better way to learn this skill. I just can't. I mean, and honestly, it's a freaking good deal. I I actually expected it to be a lot more expensive
Yeah.
because the guy I paid in 2003, $20,000.
Yeah.
20, and I lost a lot of money.
And to be clear for everyone listening, that is pretty standard, right? I mean, when you're looking at like how immersive our mastermind program is, like walking you through step by step to the point where at the end of it, you could be like Mckenzie, just making money doing it consistently. Yeah, it's usually tens of thousands of dollars. I always tell people with us, it's, essentially the cost of a semester of college, but you
Yeah,
get lifetime access to the university, the professor, and
yeah,
everything else associated with it. But I love your advice in the sense of I believe so firmly that if you want to be successful at something, you have to learn it the right way.
yeah.
Now,
And you
how
have to
you
be
learn
willing to
it,
suck. You have to be willing to suck. You
yep.
have to be willing. The only thing that all successful day traders have in common is that they never quit. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be pretty resilient emotionally. You have to be expect to suck at first. You just
Mm-hmm.
do, and it's totally okay. You'll get through it. And then before you know it, you'll start to see the money come in. It's like you can't think about the money, you think about the skill. And then it just kind of it's kind of a weird thing. You think it's about the money, but it's not.
No, you're so right. And
Yeah.
honestly, guys, my final plug for Mckenzie, and again, as you've seen, she is such an awesome human, just so positive, so, real and honest. What
Thanks.
I would attribute, a lot of your success to Mckenzie and something that I think everyone can learn from is, guys, she has no ego. She has zero ego. You can just tell, right? She does not care if she came into this and was terrible at it. She was expecting to kind of suck at it, as she just said. And when you come into something and hey, it's going to be rough in the beginning, but I'm going to figure it out. That's why not everyone does this, right? Because I get
Exactly.
those types of messages. Oh, if people are making this much money trading, why doesn't everyone do it? And I tell them straight up, I'm like, it's because most people are so terrified of being bad at something that they
Yep.
won't even put themselves in a position to try it out,
Mm,
right? And so that is one thing I would attribute to you, Mckenzie, is that you are such a positive individual, but you have no ego. You're very humble and very just, hey, I'm going into this with the expectation that it's going to be hard and it's going to take
yep.
a moment. And usually, those are the types of people who find the most success.
Yeah.
Last two things that we'll wrap up here. Someone asked, so we trade stock options, okay? The underlying stock options we're trading, just standard calls and puts,
Hmm.
big name, blue chip stocks, Tesla, AMD, NVIDIA, Google, Apple, SPY, QQQ. That's what we're trading. We trade, I'd say our arsenal is about 5 to 7 stocks max, right?
Yep.
And they're always volatile. They're always moving. Um, Mckenzie, thank you so much for being here. This has been so cool, and it's
You're so
always
welcome.
so uplifting and inspiring to me to see people in our community who are just, and I'm just gonna say, they're just kicking ass at life, right? You can
Yeah,
just
maybe.
tell that you are just
Thanks.
kicking life's ass right now. You are dominating in everything you're doing. You have such awesome, uh, you know, stories and real scenarios, but such an impressive mindset throughout it as well. Very, very impressive. For anyone who is watching
Sharing.
this, again, if you have interest, you want to learn more about what we do here at UET, feel free to shoot us a DM or
Yep.
comment on this reel before. But Mckenzie, I'll kind of leave it to you to close out. Is there any last
Hey.
thoughts or things you have for everyone who's been watching?
I'm always an open book. If you have questions, you can DM me. I'll answer them honestly. Like I'm here to help because I believe in this program so much because it's actually changed my life. Um, I just feel like it's given me something to be challenged on every single day that's built my confidence as a person. I mean, being an empty nester, you kind of feel like, what's next? And it's
Mm-hmm.
just been so much fun. I cannot tell you. I love the community. I love the UET community. There's so many cool, awesome people that you can talk to if you're struggling, or there's just everybody's there first to support you. And it's amazing, honestly. Thanks, Jeremy, for creating this. It's been amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the raving review. Really appreciate it. Again, if you've been here on this live, you're automatically entered in to our giveaway for 1 month of free live training with me and Mckenzie and everyone else here at UET. So we'll be announcing that later today. But again, I just want to thank you so much. I'm so impressed with you. Everyone, take what she has shared with you, apply it into your life, into your trading. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. And Mckenzie, we will be in touch soon. And again, really appreciate you taking the time tonight.
Of course. Thanks, guys. Have a
Thanks so
good
much,
one.
guys. We'll see
Okay.
you guys later.
See
Peace.
ya. Bye.